From the Hangar in Lancaster, California, I'm Angel.
And I'm Jacobo. This week in our city, we'll take a look at the historic Western Hotel Museum, Lancaster's Community Center, a history behind the Lancaster Municipal Stadium,
and features on two hometown heroes, Miss California 2022 Tiffany Johnson and the Memphis Grizzlies' Ziaire Williams.
Seems like we're going to be talking about a lot of hometown heroes this episode.
Yeah, lots of inspiration, lots of hard work. Let's get into it.
All right. Lancaster Boulevard is filled with many unique businesses and historical monuments alike, but there is one extraordinary building that has kept its place for over a century, cementing itself as one of the oldest buildings that can be found throughout the Antelope Valley. On this Point of Interest episode, we'll dive deeper into one of the most interesting locations in the city of Lancaster. The Western Hotel Museum has always been a staple in the local history and the folklore that surrounds our community. The historic monument was originally built upon an old train stop that was constructed in 1876 by the Southern Pacific Railroad Company. The line ran through the Antelope Valley, serving as an essential lifeline to and from San Francisco to Los Angeles. Just over a decade later, the Gilroy family began constructing the iconic hotel, which was later completed by 1888. Fast forward to today, and the building has been standing strong for over 130 years. Once the hotel was completed, it served as a temporary housing for construction crew members who worked on the Los Angeles-Owens River Aqueduct from 1905 to 1913. The museum became designated as the California Historic Landmark in 1958. Throughout its lifespan, the hotel has undergone many changes, being renamed the Antelope Valley Hotel, Gilwin Hotel, before keeping its permanent name that was adopted circa 1895. To passerbyers, the hotel stands as an iconic symbol to the past, linking the city of Lancaster to its deep historical roots of early settlement and development of the community back in the 1800s. As the oldest active Victorian-style building that is still standing in the city, the hotel stands as a true physical illustration of the architecture, style, and type of buildings that were common in the late 1800s. Near the end of the century, the Western Hotel had been remodeled into what it is today, a small museum preserving and upholding the vast history of the Antelope Valley. For those who have not yet ventured inside the museum, the landmark is home to many historical artifacts, such as Native American stone tools, mining equipment, and even old photos of Lancaster's historical figures that members of the community have donated over the years, giving objects credibility as the area's preserved history. The museum offers guests many unique exhibits as well, like the Antelope Valley Mining Exhibit, the California Missions, fashions from the past, and the Antelope Valley Native Americans, to just name a few. It also hosts annual special events, such as Summer Outdoor Silent Movie and Old-Fashioned Ice Cream Social, and during the holiday season, its interior is decorated and styled in Victorian Christmas aesthetics. If you would like to visit the Western Hotel Museum, it is located on Lancaster Boulevard and free to the general public. For general info and if you have any questions, the museum can be reached at 661-723-6250.
So, Western Hotel Museum. I've never been personally, but I know you know some cool facts about it.
So for one, a lot of people say it's haunted.
Oh.
So next time you go, you might feel a ghost, you might hear something, smell something. And for two, they say that the Western Hotel used to serve as a temporary hospital during the Spanish flu. So that could be related to the ghost, but then again, I'm not a ghost expert. You guys are going to have to check it out for yourselves.
Sounds like a plan. There's always something to do in the city in order to feel involved, whether it's attending the monthly workshops held at the Moa Cedar or going to community events like the Prime Desert Woodland Preserve's morning bird walks. Sharing a space with fellow community members can be an enriching experience that can lead to lasting relationships and fun memories. The The city of Lancaster also has its own communal space, the Lancaster Community Center, which offers a wide variety of programs and services to its visitors. Community centers play a vital role in bringing neighbors together in a shared space with fun activities, while also creating a wellness culture through opportunities for guests to get up and get active. Physical activity has been shown to improve brain health, as it has a positive effect of alleviating short-term anxiety and can improve sleep cycles. Being active can also strengthen bones and muscles, which is important because as you age, so does the rest of your body. So trying to slow down that process can be beneficial in the long run. The sooner you take care of your bones and muscles, the faster you begin to slow the aging process. Lancaster's center makes it easy to get active as it has a dance room for visitors to get their groove on. The center also offers different programs such as their Zumba class, which is a health and fitness class geared towards helping participants improve their cardiovascular fitness by using different dancing styles and tempos in order to create a workout that tones and sculpts the body. The community center also offers its visitors access to the internet with their computer lab, making it easy to do research or attend online classes. Having access to technology can improve quality of life because it provides ease of access to information for those who may not have had it in the past. Access to information is important because it provides users with the opportunity to not only educate themselves about topics they may have an interest in, but it also keeps them connected to what's happening in the world at a global level. Technology isn't the only resource the center has to offer. The on-site library provides guests with a wealth of information. These include job training resources, DIY manuals, business books, ebooks, and laptops. Access to these things is beneficial in creating an environment that's inclusive, as it puts everyone in a shared space where there's equal opportunities to learn and grow. There's a makerspace area that allows guests to get hands-on experience with different materials and tools, such as their 3D printer. Guests are able to explore STEM concepts, entrepreneurship, and fabrication. There's also a classroom utilized as a food demonstration area and culinary classroom that holds nutrition classes and culinary demonstrations. Having basic culinary skills is beneficial not only to your life, but also your health, as it makes cooking balanced meals to support your health and diet easier. To learn more about what the Community Center has to offer you, visit the city's website, cityoflancasterca.org, or call 661-723-6110. You know, I think it's really cool that the city always puts an emphasis on trying to cater to the residents through different things. So like the monthly workshops, community events, and even with the community center, it's for the residents, but also any visitors that are just passing through.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think I want to check out the Zumba class because I'm trying to sculpt my body, I'm trying to get in shape. So we got to utilize what they're giving us, right?
Exactly.
So
L28 Zumba Day. We should have that. Don't go anywhere. After this short break, the L28 team will be taking a look at Lancaster's municipal stadium, the Hangar, and talking about Lancaster native Tiffany Johnson, who was crowned Miss California 2022.
Welcome back to L28. In this segment, we'll be going over the history of the Hangar as well as discussing the early life and career of Miss California 2022, Tiffany Johnson. Originally being dubbed as the Clear Channel Stadium, the now rebranded Lancaster Municipal Stadium has gone on to become one of the most iconic monuments in town, either from it being the once home of the beloved minor league baseball team, the Lancaster Jethawks, or because of its lengthy resume of events hosted every year. This arena is full of a vast, rich history that has been expanding ever since. Although the structure has been formally titled as the Lancaster Municipal Stadium, many locals know it today as the Hangar, paying homage to the vast and growing aerospace industry throughout the Antelope Valley. Upon construction, the stadium cost a staggering $14.5 million in its initial build. Construction commenced in September of 1995, being fully completed by April of 1996. And most recently, it received renovations early last year, which were worth $25.1 million. For visitors and passerbyers alike, the stadium is clearly visible from California State Route 14 and was primarily used for baseball, being the former home of the Lancaster Jethawks. The ball club remained in action from the start of the 1996 season, competing up until their final season back in 2020. The stadium has much to offer its visitors, with a luxury skybox, an old-fashioned manual scoreboard, and a huge video message board. The Hangar also has ample seating arrangements, complete with 4,500 permanent in-stadium seats that can accommodate nearly 7,000 guests, as well as 2 expansive grass berms on either side of the ballpark, offering available seating areas when all the seats are sold out, perfect to bring a blanket and watch the game. The stadium remains active throughout the year, hosting an array of citywide events such as the Haunt at the Hangar, which is an annual Halloween-inspired event geared towards providing spooky fun for the whole family. The Hangar is also home to one of the most highly coveted events of the year, the annual Field of Drafts Beer Festival, which is geared around supplying adult fun to the Antelope Valley in greater Los Angeles County, hosting unlimited tastings of over 60 different beer and wine vendors, live music, sports entertainment, food trucks, and much more. The University of Antelope Valley's men's baseball team also uses the stadium as their home field. Throughout their season, you can find the team practicing and hosting home games all season long. Some of the other special events the Hangar is used for throughout the year are high school graduations, charity softball games, and other unique events that the city hosts. And due to Lancaster's rich aerospace legacy, sitting in front of the stadium sits an FA-18 Hornet, or to put it simply, a really cool jet, which is worth the shock and awe, because though it's still not actively flying, it reminds us of how far we've come. One thing is for sure, whether you're a native to the area or just passing by, the Hangar is definitely a monument worth visiting the next time you're in Antelope Valley. If you would like to learn more about the stadium and its origins, you can visit the cityoflancasterca.org/Hangar. So Angel, I know you've been to a few of the events hosted at the Hangar. What would you say is your personal favorite?
I feel like my personal favorite was definitely Haunt at the Hangar, because it was nice to see everybody comfortable in a way. So everybody was able either to make their costumes, like a couple cosplayers did, or even just buy them off of a rack. But you could tell everybody was having a good time. It was a family-friendly environment. And I got to interview Frankenstein on stilts.
Really?
He didn't say much, but rawr, but
he made noises and...
Yeah, gurgled a little bit. It's
Nice.
really fun though. Lancaster has been home to community members who have made great strides when it comes to uplifting their neighbors and creating an image that with hard work and determination, even those from a small city can make a huge difference. Tiffany Johnson, whose parents are the founders of the University of Antelope Valley, has made a huge impact here in the city over the years and has stated she's proud to be Lancaster grown, coming back to her hometown to do a meet and greet during the Ziaire Williams basketball clinic back in the summer. During the clinic, one of the reporters from L28 was able to grab an interview.
So today we're at a basketball clinic with Ziaire Williams, and a fun fact about both of us is we're 6'1", homegrown, and we never want to forget that. So he reached out to me and asked me to be part of this organization, which I'm so excited for because I established a nonprofit for underprivileged athletes. Sports really is the fundamental thing that brings America together at all times. I know it brings our family together in the living room, so sports is something I will never get rid of, and I'm so excited to be a form of representation for our young athletes in Lancaster, California. The piece of advice I would give my younger self is to listen. The one tool that I think we forget as young adults is the importance of listening. what I've learned from not just my parents of being founders of a regionally accredited university, or my great-grandmother being the first African-American RN in California, is that perseverance is key in life. So when you sit in a room, listen to the people in that room around you, learn from them, grab from them, and be that form of representation of what they fought for so long, to be the walking form of their identity. I think getting over the shock is something that will never happen of becoming Miss California USA. I'm a small town girl. I'm from Lancaster, California. I always knew I was expected to do big things in life, but I never thought it would be winning the hardest competition in the world of pageantry to imagine. But here I am. And when you have platforms of success, the best thing you can do is come back to communities for events like this to remind kids that are in positions that you were in that success is extremely obtainable. Nothing is out of reach for you as long as you persevere and work hard. So what lifts my spirits when life gets me down is dancing, but everyone has their own form of medication. For me, dance takes me to that spiritual journey that I need to get away with sometimes. For Ziaire, it's basketball. For some individuals, it's music. Whatever it is, find your niche and know that your escape is necessary to be successful. Sometimes on Sundays, I have to schedule 2 hours of escape for just Tiffany time, but that's needed. We need to have our calm before we can keep pushing through in this world. The one book that I would highly recommend is Finding Me by Viola Davis. This young woman is the inspiration of what it means to continue to be a form of representation no matter how much success you gain in life. The key effort that I took from her is to never lose your inner child. When you don't lose your inner child, that means you stay true to who you are day in and day out. So I will never stop dancing. I'll never stop trying to choreograph for Janet Jackson. And that's what allows me to stay true to Tiffany Johnson and remind these young women in California that it's important to be authentically yourself. The one role model that I look up to the most, of course, is my mother. My mom is a first-generation immigrant from Chile, and she works very hard, even on Sundays when it's cleaning day and laundry, and she would wake us up and make sure that we did our laundry and clean the dishes. But that taught me important work ethic. My mom also taught me the importance of having love in your home at all times. So I know when I'm a mother, the one thing that I want to continue on is not just the work ethic that I teach my children, but the importance of knowing your core, which is love, value, and your family is your team. Some obstacles that I faced before becoming Miss California USA is during my undergraduate, I was actually diagnosed with a female reproductive disease called endometriosis. I was in and out of hospitals. I actually took my last final in a hospital bed. But what I've learned through that is you turn the hardest chapters of your life into the beginning of your purpose. So when I was an undergraduate, I was a pre-med major, but I quickly switched to a nutrition master's degree because I wanted to heal myself holistically from the inside out. That now is allowing me to teach women how to heal their hormonal imbalances from the inside out as well. So my grandest advice is turn the toughest chapters of your life into the beginning of your purpose. The one goal that I want to leave all of these young athletes with today is reminding them that success is extremely obtainable. But through that success, I want you to move through prayer and never through ego. All of you will become successful. But when you become successful, don't forget who molded you to be that individual. Ziaire and I come back here to remind you that we are your forms of representation and that moment of change for you. Be that moment of change for the next generation to come. Don't ever move through ego, move through prayer.
She's become an example of how having a determined attitude can take you far and help you achieve things you may not have thought were possible. Johnson learned at a young age what it meant to work hard, as she spent hours in the studio after school practicing dance on just 3 hours of sleep. This kind of work ethic would follow her throughout her life. As at just 16 years old, she founded the nonprofit organization Together in Faith and Family, or TIFF for short, in order to support the dreams of underprivileged athletes. Since its conception, Johnson has partnered with Walmart, the California Highway Patrol, amongst others, in order to raise over $250,000 for the athletes. The organization has also distributed toys and bicycles during the holiday season, and she's now looking to partner with the NCAA to make it possible for athletes to major in their sport. All of the time she spent honing her skills in dance would pay off as well, as she was selected to be in the Los Angeles Clippers dance team, Clippers Spirit, after 2 rounds of tryouts. During her time as a Clippers Spirit member, Johnson not only acted in Lifetime movies, but was also attending her family's alma mater, the University of Hawaii, to to earn a degree in pre-med psychology. She was diagnosed with endometriosis but didn't let that stop her. Instead, she took a holistic approach and decided to earn her Master of Science in Nutrition. Johnson's background extends beyond sports. She also has quite the successful pageant career. She is Miss Lancaster 2012 and Miss High Desert 2014. In 2016, she won the Miss Latina Hawaii Scholarship Pageant, and 2 years later would win Miss Paradise Latina 2018. More recently, she competed against 71 other women for the title Miss California USA 2022 and won. She later went on to represent California as she competed against 50 other candidates in Miss USA 2022, where she finished in the top 16. To learn more about the nonprofit organization TIFF, you can visit their website at tifftiff.org. I find it really great how these hometown heroes always come back to their roots and just let the city know, it's possible for you to do anything you put your mind to. They're great examples of how, again, even from a small town, you can do big things.
Yeah, people like Tiffany Johnson are essentially paving the way for like this young up-and-coming generation. So when they see somebody coming from their town doing all these big things, I think it lets them know that like, hey, I can do that too, or.
Exactly. And if you're a fan of basketball, you're in luck. This L28 episode will be ending on a feature of Memphis Grizzly Ziaire Williams, who also hails from our great city.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be wrapping up this episode by talking about hometown hero Ziaire Williams. For most of us, the chances of becoming a professional athlete seem like a 1 in a million opportunity. But for NBA small forward Ziaire Williams, he is creating a legacy both on and off the court as he commences his second year as a professional NBA basketball player for the Memphis Grizzlies. Originally from Lancaster, California, Ziaire knows what it's like to dream big. At the young age of 5 years old, he began playing the sport of basketball, and by 8, he started training with his father, Ziaire Williams Sr., on a daily basis. While his skills continued to grow, so did his love for the sport, ultimately allowing him to attend Notre Dame High School in Sherman Oaks, California. Over the course of his first 3 years of his high school career, he would go on to be named the Los Angeles Daily News Boy of the Week multiple times, following 2 back-to-back 30-point game performances. During his junior year, he would average an astounding 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, leading him to an All-Mission League first-team selection. While the first 3 years of his high school career would go on to set the stage for his NBA aspirations, he would soon realize by the time summer rolled around his junior year that the only way to continue pursuing his dream of making the NBA would mean that he would have to make a drastic change. On July 18th of 2019, Williams would transfer to Sierra Canyon High School, which is one of the top Division I programs in the state, playing alongside a star-studded class of fellow 5-star recruits Bronny James, B.J. Boston, and Ziaire Wade. Here, Williams would go on to help Sierra Canyon win the CIF Southern Section Open Division title, as well as being named Player of the Year by the Los Angeles Times in his final senior season. By now, he realized that making the league was becoming less of a dream and more of a reality. Following his senior year, Williams committed to play for Stanford University as the #1 small forward in the 2020 recruiting class, being the highest rated prospect in Stanford men's basketball history. During his lone season at the Cardinal, he would compete in 20 games, averaging an impressive 10.7 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.2 assists in 27.8 minutes per game. Being named a top 10 finalist for the Julius Erving Small Forward of the Year Award, Pac-12 All-Freshman Team Honorable Mention, Pac-12 Freshman of the Week, and the Naismith Trophy Player of the Week, all in his freshman year. While he only remained in college for 1 season, he would end up putting in his name for the 2021 NBA Draft and was selected 10th overall by the New Orleans Pelicans, but was later traded to the Memphis Grizzlies, where he would find a home, becoming an active rotational player on the roster. Nowadays, you can see him playing alongside the likes of NBA household names such as NBA All-Star Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Dylan Brooks. This past summer, Ziaire brought it back to where it all began, holding a free basketball clinic for the local youth in the city of Lancaster. The clinic was for the children of all age groups ranging from 6 to 17 years old, allowing them the unique opportunity for fundamental basketball skill development with NBA trainers as well as Ziaire, competitive drills, motivational lectures, and tons of free giveaways. We'll now be transitioning over to an interview we obtained with Ziaire Williams at the event.
Man, coming back to the city of Lancaster and giving back to my community has been super fun, man. Just seeing all the laughs and the smiles on the kids' faces. You know, I remember vividly, you know, just being born and raised out here and, you know, not having many opportunities and places to play basketball. So this is really my sincere just giving back, you know what I mean? And it's been super fun. So I definitely plan on having more in the future and giving back in other ways as well besides basketball for sure. So to the kids who think they are not good enough, I would say, you know, I honestly didn't think I was good enough. I really didn't. But I just kept working hard just every day, not knowing where it was going to take me, but I just played for the love of the game. So, you know, if you're not good enough or you don't think you're good enough, that's never the case. You know what I mean? As long as you're having fun and you're doing what you love to do, that's all you can ask for. You know what I mean? We all could just be the best version of ourselves. So if you're the best version of yourself and you're pushing yourself to be the best person you could possibly be every day, then that's all you can ask for. And that's what I did every day, and that's what my parents taught me. So there should never be any doubt that you could honestly do anything, because the sky's the limit for all of us. You know, if you put your mind, heart, and soul into it, you'll get the same results out for sure. When tough obstacles come around, man, I've always had my family to lean on for support and advice. And you know, like when they say it takes a village to be successful, it really does, man. I've had teachers come back here supporting me, old friends, coaches. You know, this is really like my home and my community, so it's been really awesome. You know, just bring it all back to where it started. You know what I mean? So I'm just blessed to be in this position. I'm just honestly just trying to give these kids as much as I can, just a good time, you know, because I wish when I was little we would have had stuff like this. So it's been really fun. I'll be back here all the time. I may not live here, but my presence will be around for sure, whether it's going back to my old schools. You know, I would love to one day build a rec center and a gym where kids could just go in and play basketball and have fun, you know, just do a bunch of different charities and stuff like that. And that'll come over time, but that's definitely no question. I'll definitely be back here for sure to support you know, the community that gave me everything. Honestly, without Lancaster and 661, man, I would be nothing. So it's just an honor just to come back where it all started and be able to give back and almost be as much of an inspiration as possible for all the younger kids and the next generation above us or below me. The first annual Ziaire Williams basketball camp, many more to come in the future. This was a great first turnout, man. Shout out to Herbalife Nutrition. Shout out to Tiffany Johnson, Miss California, but she was also born and raised in Lancaster. So, you know, it's just cool just to give back, man. All these smiling kids and having a good time, have little goodie bags of gear and stuff. That's what it's all about. So I'm just blessed and thankful that this event turned out great, and just stay tuned for what's in store for the future, man. It's many more beautiful things to come in the city of Lancaster for sure.
You know, I think it's really cool how both Ziaire and Tiffany Johnson are coming back to Lancaster and giving back to the community.
Mm-hmm. It's like you said, he's catering to the local youth and really addressing the passions that they have because they share them. I'm sure the kids at that basketball clinic were there not only to see him, but also learn a thing or two about their sport, hone their craft, gain some more experience that I'm sure is going to help them later on.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to take it up to the next level, and Ziaire already kind of paved the road for that, so it's a good role model.
Well, thank you for tuning in to the City of Lancaster's news. I'm Angel.
And I'm Jacobo, and this has been
L28 News.